The next article that I found was Chrome. They had a use after free flaw that lets attackers execute arbitrary code. So this was in yesterday's release. It's abusing some safe browsing features and earned a high severity rating from Chrome for that reason. They had a pretty hefty payout for the researcher that found this for an individual bug bounty for $7,000. That usually means that it was a particularly nasty one. This one is not actively being exploited right now based on current reports that I had read, but definitely one that they promptly released the Chrome version to resolve this, and they were urging people to update this one. So this article just goes through and talks a little bit more about that. So when they exploit this, it's a use after free vulnerability that could allow the attacker to execute arbitrary code on the victim's system, meaning they could load malware, steal sensitive information, gain unauthorized access. So this is your perfect gateway exploit. Typically, you're going to use this one and chain it with additional CVEs to go from being able to, get entry into that system, dupe a user into clicking on something bad. That opens up your way to get onto the system and then execute your elevation of privilege vulnerability, which, hey, we've got 2 actively exploited ones on the Microsoft side this month in the OS. It's just that this is your door opener CVE. So one of the things, for those of you who have heard me talk about this before, browsers, unless you've got a very sensitive application in your organization that tends to break when you update browsers, switching to a weekly or even a daily check for your browser updates is preferred. We're going to talk about Mozilla in a second here as well, but between Chrome, Edge, and Mozilla, you're going to have 2 or more browser updates every week that's going to contain security updates. And 0 days exploited vulnerabilities can happen pretty close together. In fact, we saw within about 3.5 weeks between May and June Patch Tuesday, there were 2 on the Chrome and Edge browsers. And then again in July, there were 2 back-to-back within the month of July. So of the 6 or so exploited vulnerabilities this month or this year for Google, 4 of those happened in very short, windows, pairing up 2 within a few weeks and another 2 within a few weeks. So that can happen very fast, very frequently. It is highly recommended to get your patching of browsers to be more aggressive.